Hi everyone, my name is Krishnan Sethumadhavan and I'm one of the USGs of Crisis for Aisle Monk 31, and I'm here today with Gabe Delaney, Gautam Nagaraj, and Rajan Sheth, who are all senior staff for the NFL Team Owners Committee. Would you just like to go ahead and say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Gabe. I'm a senior studying political science and history in the college, and I'm writing a senior thesis on public leadership.
My name is Gautam. I'm a sophomore in the Evangelist Integrated Program in Energy Research, studying chemistry or earth science in the college, and studying mechanical engineering and applied mechanics and engineering. Yeah.
I'm Rajan, a sophomore in Wharton, studying business of sorts.
Alright, great. So, obviously the NFL is a pretty unique entity, so I'm curious, what attracted you guys to this committee?
Yeah, I was having this conversation earlier with a friend of mine, more about like sports and why it's so important. There are a few things I think in the world that can unite people like sports do. And I guess what attracted me to the committee was the ability to kind of simulate what running the business of a sport like the NFL would be like. It's something that I have thought about as a career even after law school and things like that, but that's probably why. It's a really interesting subject, and the role that the NFL plays in our society today is pretty crucial.
I've been a lifelong fan, Pittsburgh Steelers, and basically I've always liked watching it, love the game, and just going back, every year playing Madden, of course, but just being able to simulate that in the game and saying, why don't we do this in real life, make this like a model UN committee. I think that's I was really excited about doing that, something that's new, innovative, and that steps a little bit away from the usual political realm that model UN is usually confined to.
Yep. As a Skarni Indian kid, I am interested by things that I can never do, and the NFL is one of them.
Alright.
Good answer.
Yeah, good answer. Alright, great. So Gabe, as the chair for this committee, what are you expecting, what are you looking for in a successful delegate in the committee room?
Yeah, typically it's like three things. One is, do you have a pretty good command of the material, right? So you're an NFL team owner. Do you know your stuff? Do you know your team? Do you know your players? Do you know your business? Do you know where you are, your market? Do you know a lot about the NFL and how it runs? Those are important factors, and I'll obviously be looking to see who has that kind of knowledge. The second most important thing is definitely your ability to communicate what you know. And that's your ability to debate. Your ability to communicate a point in a certain period of time and do it in a way that's compelling and can get the room to somehow agree with you in some way. And then third is how you interact with the other delegates in the room. And that's pretty much, not necessarily if you get them to support you always, but I'll be looking for various character traits that will certainly tell me whether or not someone is interacting well or interacting negatively. And if they're aware of that, interaction. Because the point of all this is to learn. So if you can't do any of those three things, there's something you got to learn. I'm aware people will make mistakes along the way, but that's why we're here to kind of simulate what it would be like to actually be an NFL team owner.
Great.
Yeah.
So Gautam and Rajan, as the crisis directors for this committee, how can delegates really prepare themselves for the committee, and what do you see as your ideal crisis delegate, I guess?
Well, to prepare, if you haven't already, buy Madden, play Madden, live Madden career mode.
Agreed.
Best way to do it.
Yeah.
You're going to learn a lot, you're going to have a lot of fun.
Actually, though.
Fantasy football too.
This too. So
It's a little late for that.
You got to learn the game at the end of the day. You got to know the game so you can actually interact with Crisis and know what you're going to do. You need to be able to plan ahead and basically negotiate and be able to understand where you're going to go with things. So I think that's really important. So play Madden.
So I think to answer the second part of this question of what makes an ideal crisis delegate, realize we want to have fun too. So if you're Jerry Jones, you can buy a 7,000-inch TV if you want to. Just, try to have fun while you're doing it as well. This is meant to be fun and enjoyable. We want you to learn, we want you to become a better communicator, but we also want you to enjoy the process along the way.
Yeah.
And that's better for us too.
Yeah.
Great. So, the season's coming to an end in a few weeks. We're looking at the playoffs. Who do you guys have for the Super Bowl?
I'm a New England Patriots fan. We seem to be doing pretty well right nowadays. 9-2 last time I checked, and we've beaten pretty much all the top teams in the league so far. Knock on wood on the Packers. We don't know yet. But I've got the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Again, knock on wood.
Well, there's a lot of really good teams out there, a lot of teams that play well, but at the end of the day, it comes down to being able to make that final run. Near the end of the season, you got to push it, you got to push it, you got to push it. And there's one team that's got the history to do that.
New England Patriots.
My Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go, Steeler Nation.
The Cardinals.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. Well,
Any defense of that, or just
Do I need to provide defense?
Okay. All right.
True stand.
They are 9-2 right now. All right.
fair enough. All right. Well, thanks guys for coming out today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at Isle Monk.
See you at Almonk.
See you at Almonk.